Right, so let's move on to Dragon's Den. So, what was the point that you thought it's time for me to go on Dragon's Den?
But when they phoned,
Oh, really? Okay, right. Okay, I didn't even know that. Okay, so they phoned you.
yeah,
They phoned you.
this was
Oh no.
completely news to me.
Yeah, yeah.
It was random Tuesday last February. So this has been a year-long process. I got a phone call out of the blue. It was right about 10:30. I was only in the door, and it was it was a private number because it was withheld, and I don't normally answer private numbers. And it said, "Hi, it's Ben from the BBC. I'm a researcher here with Dragon's Den. Have you ever considered applying?" And I was like, "Sorry, are you taking the piss?" And he was like, "No, I think he's quite taken aback." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I've considered it. It'd be amazing, but I'm just not sure this call's genuine, so I'm going to need you to send me an email, and I'm going to need to see it in writing, and then happy to have a chat." And fair to him, he did. And yeah, the application was submitted that week, and everything just kind of snowballs and momentum builds from there. And it all feels so fragile at the start because you're not allowed to tell anybody. So it's all strictly confidential and completely unknown. That you've no guarantees just because you're approached. It's like they're pretty clear on that. Doesn't mean to say that you have any more or less chance of getting on the show. But it's quite a process. The application takes a wee while, and then you've got to, do an opening pitch to the research team, who are amazing throughout. And then you've got dummy pitches that you have to prepare for, pitches that you have to record. I always say that if you're in our business, you've got the pitches on pitches, because that's what we do. We live on pitches. And then you've got, these pitches are seen by executive producers that you never meet, really. And these are the decision makers that you need to influence by proxy. Somebody else is doing the selling of you to them. And each milestone that you tick off is, it feels like a big win. It feels like you're getting closer, but it's all still so brittle in your hands, like it could fall apart. And you're trying not to get excited about it, but you're extremely excited about it at the same time. So yeah, it's just all really, really cool. And then you've got due diligence to go through, which is a really, really time-consuming process. But I suppose, as I mentioned, those kind of fundamentals of business and the process and the systems that we've in place, we record things. We've always been diligent like that. So we were able to evidence and factually back up everything that we were saying. And for the BBC to verify that as fact, that's quite a pat in the back to the business and to the team here. And I think that's a really good testament of our work, that those figures stack up. But everything you say has to be based on facts. Things like, I'm the chairman of my local football club in the Edinburgh Harps. How do you even factually, but it's an amateur football team, like there's no documentation. Thankfully I found an Even News article. You've people that can corroborate your story as well, but your degree from how what, everything, it needs to be factually, if you're going to mention it in there, then you need to factually back it up. Beyond that, then you've got kind of regular check-ins with welfare officers from the BBC. You've calls with psychologists to make sure you're of sound mind for what's coming, and they treat you as an entrepreneur with really great care. And I think that just how thorough the process is prepares you for what's going to happen in there. I think you need to over prepare for it. It's a big thing, and it's just you. There's no notes, there's no prompts, there's no cheats, anything in there. It's just you. So you need to be really well versed in your business, and obviously I kind of live and breathe it. And any entrepreneur that goes in there lives and breathes their business. They've got the passion, they've got the drive for it. So you have to really trust yourself throughout the whole thing, and back yourself as well. All the while, it feels like one big great interview because it's TV. you need to be a personality. They're looking, is this going to be good TV? That's what they're asking themselves. So yeah, you're conscious of that as well throughout. But yeah, and there's kind of long periods of silence where you hear nothing from them, and all the while things are moving in the background, but it just takes time. And then you get a phone call out of the blue. I was on the beach in Sardinia with my family on a holiday, La Tavolera, and there was like no other people on the beach, another couple, and that happened to be in the same flight. But yeah, it's Dragon's Den, BBC Dragon's Den here. You're in 2 weeks, and then you've got 7 days left of holiday, and another week after that to prepare. But you've really been preparing kind of all your life and all your business career to that point. So yeah, you just have to roll with it when it comes.
I mean, it's interesting you're saying it's so fragile, because you've got all these like not hoops to jump through, but all these like milestones to reach before you even get to the pitch itself that's going to be televised. And then even then you've got to that's the big thing. So you must feel like a relief, but then it's also a bit precarious, because then you're thinking, oh, I've got to do the next thing, or I've still got to do the main event. I've still got to actually go on TV and do it.
Yeah, and even that, like, so even right up until you're at the elevator doors, and this is a kind of case in point as to how fragile it all is. You've done the pre-interviews, and you've kind of done hair, makeup, you've had all the prep, you've been there the day before setting up the stage and everything, and like I wasn't going off. I heard a call from one of the technical team. It was a profanity that you probably would prefer I didn't say on the pod, and I was like, what's that? And somebody came in from the wings and was like, oh, we're not filming just now. And I was like, what's going on here? And there was a technical fault with some of the equipment setup, but filming's been delayed for an hour. We have to go back to the green room. And if you could imagine, you've I like my herbal tea, and so I had my yerba mate, I had my coffee, I had everything. You're primed, you've had your pep talk, and you're completely psyched up to go into it. And then you have to come down again. And Ben, the researcher that made the initial call, he's there with you throughout, so which is really nice continuity. And he was like, right, wait, we need to calm down, and then we need to reset to go again. And we're walking along, and the second time, and I was like, I'm just not feeling it again. And he was like, right, but come on, like that's in the past now. We have to get going again. And I just wasn't feeling it. And then the doors opened, and honestly, it's like an adrenaline shot right to your heart. I did look at my heart rate after it coming out, but it just hits you, and you're ready again, and then it all just unfolds. But yeah, even at that point, you're like, it's still so fragile. And there's no guarantees once you've been in that you're going to be on TV. So you could have been through the wash and done all this and not got on TV. And so, yeah, everything is really, really fragile with it.